as you're trying to prep, and possibly, hopefully, probably you're trying to get into shape, arthritis pain and muscle pain can be detrimental. And finding herbal remedies that work is difficult because, pharmaceuticals companies try to really push their drugs and trying to see what actually works in herbals. Sometimes people even laugh at it and say they don't work. But I'll tell you right now, they do work, and they work very well. And this is a little bit of a longer video because I think it's going to be well worth it if you're looking for some type of alternate form of pain medication to be able to manage pain. Because I'm actually in big pain. And when it comes to prepping, if you're trying to bug out and such, that could actually be a bad thing because being in shape, as I mentioned before, and working out it should be a number one priority. And even when you look at the over-the-counter medications where people don't look at them as having problems, they do. Over-the-counter medications have some serious problems with them. And for years, I was a big pharmaceutical guy. I took ibuprofen every day for years. And I really mean years, because I was always in pain, always. I never thought I'd find a day to get out of the pain without taking certain pharmaceutical drugs. And part of it's related to having MS. I got a brain injury during the Gulf War. There's lots of things I have, like epilepsy, MS, just lots and lots of pain, and including headaches too. And that's actually why I took it more than anything, not just body pain, but headaches. It was awful. But I knew I had to get off it. Taking it every single day, every time I'd pop those pills, numerous times a day, I always thought of the ramifications of it. So I started researching and started looking for things to be able to wean myself and going in a direction that's actually going to be healthier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a few suggestions that might work well for you, because the suggestions I'm going to give you work very well for me. But I want you to wait to the end, because the last one it's, in my opinion, it's like a miracle drug. It's not a drug, a miracle vitamin. It's a miracle supplement. How about that? That's worked so well. It's a huge discovery. I sound like an infomercial that literally, and I'm not kidding you, literally changed my life, because I was in martial arts for years and I stopped. I simply couldn't do it anymore, even taking, pharmaceutical pills. But now, last year, my family and I are back into it, way into it, and I'm doing very well, which completely blows my mind. Now, here's the disclaimer. I'm no longer a licensed physician anymore because of my brain injury. And therefore, you know what? Any of these things, obviously, you'll have to check with your physician to make sure you can take these. Now, because of my brain injuries, I am very limited on the pills I can take. I'll actually take some pills that will actually cause me to have a seizure, so I can't take those anymore. And on top of that, for our family, we only take vegetarian or vegan pills. All right, let me tell you first off what did not work. The first one that did not work for us at all was moringa. Moringa is really pushed. I'm even going to use the word pushed by certain channels and say it is the miracle stuff. Number one, it didn't do anything for me. I really gave it a really good shot. We actually even packaged up our own pills and made it and tried it. In fact, by taking it actually gave me a little bit of allergic reaction, skin itchiness, but I didn't care about that. It didn't kill any pain at all. But again, it may work for you. It didn't work for me. But I do want to give a word of caution, and this is why it bugs me some channels push this so much, that moringa is well known to cause miscarriages. Well known to cause this. I mean, if you're not in the baby phase, or maybe you're a guy, maybe you actually are a woman, you're done having your babies for your lifetime, whatever, I mean, that's fine. But you would think that these channels who would really push moringa would at least say, hey guys, by the way, if you are pregnant or might become pregnant, you might not want to take this because it's going to possibly kill your baby. You think they would say that, but they don't. All right, there's some other ones that relieve pain that I've never tried also. One's called Feverfew, great for headaches and RA, rheumatoid arthritis. Again, also not for pregnant women. Devil's Claw, also great for arthritis and headaches and back pain. This one's supposed to work very well, but I've never tried it. Again, not for pregnant women for this one either. But personally, when I have back pain, I just go to my chiropractor, which, I have a really good chiropractor, and he does an amazing job to make sure he puts my back into shape again. There's also ginseng for fibromyalgia, kava kava for headaches and neuropathy, St. John's wort for sciatica, arthritis, and neuropathic pain, and valerian root for spasms and muscle cramps. Okay, so there's ones that, I don't know, I would love to hear what you say about these if you've tried those, but all of those I've never tried. But I do want to talk about the ones I have tried, because again, stay to the end, because this is a game changer, the big one I'm going to put on there. But I will tell you what I take. I'll show you what I take. I'll put links below for these if you actually want to pick these up, and I'll tell you what works for me and what doesn't. Okay, so for me, first off, every single day I take This is actually just from Walmart, Spring Valley, turmeric and curcumin, I can never say that word, curcumin complex. 1,000 milligrams, I take a couple of these every single day. It works very well. Now, we also have from Costco the Kirkland brand. I know a lot of people say they hate these type of drugs because they're like China drugs. It's really tough to say if they are or not. But anyways, the turmeric from Kirkland or from Costco actually caused me to have seizures. So what's going on? Why does this one not cause? And this one, I have no idea. But I know for me, I just take these ones and my family takes these ones now. But it actually, what it does is it controls cytokines in the body. And if you don't know it, cytokines, the more cytokines you actually have released, the more inflammation you have. And the more inflammation you have, the more painful. And inflammation's good, by the way, if you have like an acute injury. But for long term, it can actually cause tissue problems, not to mention pain as well. Something else I do not take is glucosamine with MSM. Now I have a bottle of it, and why don't I take it? Because I took it and again had more seizures. So obviously another thing I can't take. So right now it just sits on my shelf. My family doesn't seem interested in taking it, and that's fine. I'm not going to throw it away. But anyways, studies on glucosamine and MSM surprisingly are actually on the fence. I don't know if you know that. A lot of people swear by it and say it works really well. They say it works well with osteoarthritis, but there's a lot of studies that say it does nothing. Is that the government just putting out garbage? Could be. But for me, I can't take it. I wish I could. I wouldn't mind trying a different one, but honestly, when I have a seizure, it lays me out for the whole day. So I'm actually doing pretty well, again, because of the last supplement I'm going to show you. All right, one more before I give you the best treatment. Let me find it over here. Okay, sorry, I forgot to grab it. Jammin' Lemon Ginger Tea. Now, you don't have to get the celestial seasonings, and it doesn't have to have the lemon in it, but ginger is pretty amazing. Now, ginger is well known to lower the prostaglandins in the body, which actually will decrease pain, especially when it comes to like arthritis pain. Now, if I actually have a day, like maybe a front's coming through and I do have more pain, I may actually have a cup of ginger tea. And it really amazes me. I'm not kidding you. It amazes me how much it lowers my pain. It works very well for me. Now, you do have to be careful when it comes to ginger. Ginger is an anticoagulant, so if you have problems with like blood thinners and clotting and stuff, it may not be for you. But again, all this stuff you want to check with your doctor anyway. That takes us to number one. And this one, I am ecstatic that I read this. I actually found it in a naturopathic journal. And I take a lot of naturopathic stuff with a grain of salt because I kind of wonder where the information come from. Was it actually with double-blind studies and stuff? But I still read it, investigate it myself. And this one naturopathic doctor said you need to take calcium. And not just calcium, but a ridiculous amount of calcium, upwards of 5,000 milligrams a day. And by the way, if you don't know it, that's a lot of calcium. And calcium, understand, is required for heart regulation, to be able to beat your heart, make your heart beat, and also for muscle contractions. You must have calcium. But traditional medicine, I need you to understand, kind of frowns on taking calcium supplements, but also on simply having too much calcium because it can actually throw off your blood chemistry, electrolyte balance, etc. Not to mention possibly cause kidney stones. So again, when I read this from the Naturopathic Journal and said take a ridiculous amount of calcium, I was skeptical. I actually sat down with my physician and talked with her, and she goes, wow, that's interesting. She was like, I don't really see a problem with it as long as you go gradually. And that's what I did. I started off with, I buy Plant Fusion, plant-based calcium, 1,000 milligram tablets. And I started off with 2 tablets, 2,000 milligrams, again, just to make sure I don't have any seizures. I didn't think I would with calcium anyway. And then I started noticing a change. My pain level started dropping within a couple days. Then I went to 3,000, then to 4,000, and I still to this day have never taken the 5,000 he recommended, and my pain is practically speaking gone. And again, sometimes I do have it where I need to drink a cup of ginger tea. That happens, especially after martial arts. The next day I'm sore. But you know what? That's just pain. That's just stuff you're dealing with your body anyway. But you have to understand when it comes to calcium, you can look at the ingredients on it, and sometimes it'll say like calcium citrate is where it comes from, or calcium carbonate. And you have to be careful by buying a different brand, because if it says you actually have 1,000 milligrams of calcium citrate or 1,000 milligrams of calcium carbonate, that's not 1,000 milligrams of calcium, because you have calcium citrate, calcium carbonate. A big chunk of it, if not more of it, is actually from the carbonate, for example. Now, if it says 1,000 milligrams of calcium, and then it comes from calcium citrate or calcium carbonate or whatever, that's good. You want to have that. All right. Now, what I like to do, and the best way to do this, by the way, is sometimes I'll actually have a protein shake. I'll actually simply just put in the powdered calcium into that and do it that way instead of taking the pills. These particular pills are a little bit more on the pricey side. And again, we don't eat things unless it's vegan or vegetarian. I mean, we do. I eat meat and stuff, but we stay on actually a kosher diet. And this calcium, it definitely fits within our diets. But again, it is definitely more expensive. So we try to use the powder whenever possible. And again, I'll put links for all this below. Now, because it is real that you could actually cause kidney stones because of excess calcium, I drink a lot of water, a lot of excess water to make sure it flushes it out. And that's actually usually does very well. In fact, we'll often find with patients, the reason they have kidney stones pop up in the first place, they don't drink enough water in the first place. So I try to drink 2 liters a day. At the bare minimum, I drink 1 liter, but I usually try to go for 2 liters a day. And then on top of simply the calcium, I'll also take vitamin D. Or, vitamin D3, which is the common form of vitamin D. Because for your digestive tract to absorb the calcium, you also have to have the vitamin D along with it, also for it to go into your cells. So having both of these together, taking them simultaneously, especially with food, is going to help you absorb it, which makes things work very well. So this is only like a tip of the iceberg of the amount of vitamins and supplements I take every day now. I mean, I take a lot. And when I finish all my vitamin supplements, I'll have a meal. It's usually breakfast, sometimes lunch. I'll take all the pills, so many of them. I'm like, oh, I'm so tired of pills. But once I'm done eating and done with the pills, I'm like, oh, it's incredible how good I feel. From someone who has all these problems with their body, including arthritis and a brain injury, not to mention I'm older and have all these problems going on as far as like stuff from the Gulf War and everything. I feel better now than I did 10 years ago, and I am not kidding. So I take them every day. Practically, I try to. Once in a while, I'll miss a day, and I feel like $1,000,000. Now, I still have a pain on occasion, so it's not complete. And again, you definitely need to check with your physician to make sure you fit in with this. But you know what? I hope this helps. If it does, please give me a thumbs up. It helps our channel out quite a bit. And also share it too, because I'm sure there's a lot of other people in pain out there. And especially when it comes to the calcium one, a lot of people don't know about this. So share it with your friends, because I'm sure, I'm sure your friends don't like pain either. Okay, hope this helps you out. And please, by all means, in the comments below, tell me what you do and what you might take non-pharmaceutically to help out your pain. Thanks for watching.